let's do a little updated Busters and Ballers. There's gonna be a couple updates in this episode. Let's do a couple updated Busters and Ballers for Super Mario Brothers movie edition. So this does not really take the games into account. Like, yeah, you can take into account like the context of what you know about the games, but I mean like the characters as the movie presented them,
Yeah.
so as they were presented in the movie. So the first one, how about Super Mario played by Chris Pratt? What was your feedback?
So I thought I was gonna notice it more that it was like Chris Pratt, but like the
Yeah.
way they kind of made it so they don't have accents, like kind of worked, like where they
Mhm.
weren't Italian. So I was a fan. Say
Yeah, and they
baller.
yeah, baller. Yeah, I think so too. I think he did a good job. Also, I mean, they made a point about like why Bradley Cooper changed his voice because they were like, why would you change Bradley Cooper's voice? Like that's why he's there. And James Gunn
Yeah,
was because he's a good actor. Like he's doing a character. Like
yeah,
he can do that. Like I don't know. I'm Chris Pratt is whatever in his personal life, but like his acting is pretty solid. I mean, he's good with the that light comedic role. He can be that kind of like serious action guy. Like so, I mean, he
right.
has
He
talent
has
to
range.
he has range. Yeah, he's enough range. I mean, I appreciated him, and I thought that he kind of played the Mario character well. And I agree that the Mario character was a baller. He was kind of like just down for whatever, just trying to change his life. He was kind of bored, and I feel like
Yeah,
he was too close to his weird, lame family.
yeah.
Like I was not a fan of his family in that movie. But all right. So let's see who's next. Peaches. What did you think about
Peaches.
Princess Peach?
I actually appreciated it. It was good. Same like I'd say baller.
Oh, absolutely. I
That
think
was the girl from the Queen's Gambit, right?
yeah, I
Who
remember
voiced her?
about the actress, and she has like South American roots too. Like, cause Liz told me about that, and we were looking into it. She seems pretty cool. And, like, I like. She looks like she. I mean, I think the acting was good. Absolutely,
Yeah,
voice
for
acting
sure.
was good. And when it came to Peach's character, she exceeded my expectations. I love the fact that they never really made her. Oh no, Peaches don't. It was all about like
Yeah,
leader
yeah.
and
She
like
was like a strong female character, which I appreciated.
and she's the representative of all the toads. And she's
Yeah,
sitting there like just like trying to help out her people. And she's like, oh yeah, you're someone who can help me. It's not like, oh my God, Mario, you're the only one who can help
yeah.
me.
She's not a damsel in distress. She's
By the way, they definitely modernized it and they didn't have to put like heavy hand on it. So it seemed intentional. It just seemed like, oh, like this character's baller. Like
yeah.
Peach is baller, no doubt. I agree. And what about I mean, Bowser, did you imagine that you come out of it with such an amazing hit song and such like
I love that song. My dog's name is Peaches, so I mean, I play it all the time and I serenade her.
oh my gosh,
She
that
hates
must have
it,
been
but I'm a fan.
first time you heard him say like peaches, because the first time I heard that, I was like, oh, that's Jack Black, and I just
Oh,
go laughing. But to think about that, yeah, your dog being peaches, that must have been like that must have hit you a little different when they started singing that way. And yeah, that was so funny, and that song is actually really good. I've listened to like a couple different versions of it, and
it's a great song. I
it
used it for
is.
one of my skate edits recently on Instagram.
You
I
did, you
skated that
did.
mani pad because I
You know,
was just like that obsessed with it.
I'm peeping your Instagrams. There's no doubt. There's nothing you put out there that I'm not seeing. So, and liking and commenting on usually most of the time. So, shout
Love the
out
support.
to,
Homies supporting homies.
why don't you go ahead and tell us, remind people about your skate Instagram tag or the one you
Uh,
put your clips on.
so yeah, it's underscore underscore skr SKER. Pretty much my handle everywhere is like skr games.
Mhm. Like
Unless I'm using my alias Krusty Nolan's.
I thought I thought that Bowser was absolutely baller. He was so funny. He
Baller.
was way less of a buster than I imagined in the sense of like he was just, I like the fact that they made it so he was more heartbroken than anything. And also my brother, I did a little pod, some pod sections with him and my nephew Ronan, and he was saying that somewhere in the Mario lore, it was saying that Peaches and Bowser were like a thing and that like Bowser's kids are Peach's kids too. Like
Uh,
again, I don't mean to like put things out there like without vetting the information properly, but I did hear something like that. And if that was true, then Morel shouldn't really get involved yet, right? I mean, it's a domestic matter, and they gotta
yeah,
they
for
gotta
sure.
figure that out first. I mean, and obviously Bowser's behavior is not warranted, but you know, give it some time, Mario. Let her figure her life out, you know.
Right. I
And
mean, she did ask for the help though.
Well, yeah, I mean, she can help her, but I just mean like the extra level, like
Yeah,
heart,
that's
like you
fair.
gotta put that on hold until she's ready, like
I also appreciated how evil they made Bowser too, like right at the beginning where he just shows up and just like messes those penguins up.
yeah, yeah, and just like the rock music tone to everything. It was like very
Yeah,
Mad Max band. Like it was, I thought that was amazing. It's a Koopa, so like
yeah.
yeah, it was. I mean, he really made it his own. I really agree. And I'm gonna go ahead and I want to start with a controversial take and to see what you have to say about
All
Luigi.
right.
I think Luigi was cool from like I liked the character. I think that Charlie Day did a good job. I thought I liked his voice for him and the way he played it. I thought the character himself, if we're gonna put it in a Buster or Baller category, was straight up Buster because he played the Buster role. Like he was the one that needed. He was the damsel. Like
Yeah,
he was kind of like the useless guy who gets in the way and like gets you in trouble. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
couldn't really see. I Thinking back to the movie too, I can't think of a practical use that his character had to progress the story other than be saved. Right?
yeah.
Like
That's fair. I agree. I did like him in the movie. It was weird because I've watched so much It's Always Sunny that Charlie Day just like his voice is imprinted in my head as Charlie Day. Like,
mm,
but I also like I do appreciate in the movie there was like a homage to Luigi's Mansion when he first gets like
yes,
separated and he's
yes.
walking through the house. I really did appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he was, he had to be in the movie obviously, so they needed to fill the void where they could with him and like he was kind of like some good comedic relief and kind of gave Mario that like this is why Mario's because like his brother is the one who's always getting picked on. So Mario is always the one standing up for him because like
Yeah.
they're,
He's like his social
family.
anxiety. Like Luigi's like I mean I think that works well with Charlie Day's character, but
Hmm.
and just like I can relate social anxiety, but like you see that and you're like, oh okay, like I because I liked the character. I mean like because I mean you can like yourself and still be a little bit of a buster. You know what I mean? I hope
Yeah.
you do if you're a buster. I hope you like yourself. So we're all a little bit buster and baller. That's like our goods and ups and downs. So it's like I think that it was good and it like totally worked the way they with him. And
Yeah.
because Peach was so much of a baller, like Luigi had to fill the role of like damsel, like outdated damsel. That's still
Yeah, for sure.
that trope that's still needed within Mario a little bit to drive the story at least initially. So
Yeah. I'd say baller though. I still.
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead with Buster, but like essential Buster. You know what I mean? Like a
Fair
Buster
enough.
that helps you, like the kind of Ben Stiller Buster. All right, who's next? Okay, what about Toad? That's not controversial. I thought Toad was like way more funny and awesome
Oh, I
and
love Toad.
cool, and he just loved life. Like that part where they showed him come up and he like grabbed his kit and you think he's gonna fight, and then he just makes lunch. Like that's like the funniest
Hold
part.
on.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna stop my video real quick. Carla's leaving.
All right, I'm gonna
I'm just
pause.
gonna yeah,
Welcome back.
we're
Sorry
back.
about that. Yeah, just family. So yeah, so good. Yeah, I agree that Toad. I think Toad was just so baller. Like I think he was my favorite character in the movie. Like
He was hilarious. Yeah. I just loved like
yeah,
he was just down for the adventure. He was ready.
yeah. And then Key just kills it, of course. Like his voice is so funny. Like
Yeah.
he just crushed it. And then what about the wizard? I forget his full name, but the
Oh, yeah, I would say I'm gonna go this will be my first Buster.
Buster.
I don't remember his
Wow.
name, therefore he's a Buster. He's
Like
not cool.
he was powerful as hell, man. He was
He
like
was
Bowser couldn't have done anything without him. You
he
saw
was
that Bowser couldn't
underutilized, I
step
feel
back.
like.
Okay, I disagree. I'm gonna push back on that one. I respect your opinion, but I disagree because I thought he was baller. I thought he could have like usurped Bowser at any moment.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, serious. Like he was. I don't know why he was even like Bowser was before he had the star. Bowser was nothing but like a figurehead. He's like the wizard. I mean, bad analogy, but the wizard's kind of like the Dick Cheney to the George W. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, way more power, way more potent. like way more ruthless, way more smart,
Yeah.
way smarter. I mean, like all of those things. So yeah, I think the Wizard. I'm gonna push back. I say
I'm gonna say Buster too because he could have overthrown Bowser but doesn't. So
didn't. Yeah, so he's like the subjugated
yeah.
baller, which I subjugated baller is a Buster. I guess you're right. You might have won that argument through technicality. So nice one there. One. What about King Bomba?
Big fan, but baller.
Yeah, for sure. I don't care that he went out like a punk. Like
Yeah,
he's. I mean, I would have had the same reaction if that same consequence was coming my way. But
right? Seriously.
and that movie just, I thought that was so funny how like that it was very. He was like one of the only characters that got destroyed. Right? It was him and
Yeah.
like one of the Koopa Troopers that like fell off Rainbow Road. Like
Yep.
But aside from that, like everyone else kind of like it was kind of easy on him. Like not like in the sense of like they that did they didn't meet the ultimate price. Oh
For
my
sure.
gosh. Wow. Yeah, dude. I thought it was cool. And what about Donkey Kong? Like what did you
Donkey
think
Kong.
of that?
I thought that
Controversial.
fight between him and Mario was hilarious.
Yeah.
And Mario takes like the tiny mushroom.
Hmm. I like
uh,
that. Yeah, at first he didn't know how to use it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say Donkey Kong baller. Big Donkey Kong fan.
I'd say
Uh,
Ballers as well. I mean,
yeah, they
Seth Rogen worked for it, or do you think some
yeah, and they did a good job with like Donkey Kong being like, just that's where their rivalry began was Donkey Kong versus Mario. So it was like funny to like see
Mhm.
them kind of take their twist on that.
It makes sense. It makes sense too because Donkey Kong was so attention seeking and he just wanted
Yeah,
validation from his dad and the fans. So like it kind of makes sense why he would be like so dead set against Mario initially.
yeah,
He came in like literally as the competitor. So like yeah, I think they did a good job there too. And they were able to the thing about the movie that I was most impressed with was the transitions because they had a lot of different parts of the movie they had to get over.
yep,
Like you said, there was a nod to Luigi's Mansion, but that didn't take up half the movie. There was a Super Mario Kart section, but that probably
yep,
took less than 10 minutes. There was all sorts of things like throwbacks to different genres and eras within
yeah. Even
Mario.
Mario training with Peach, like the whole jumping and platforming,
That
like
was like that was also too, I think, a nod to the Lost Levels. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Yeah, like that part, like where they had like all of like when the thing was really wacky, like all the things were nailing him. Like I think
yeah,
that was a little bit of a like a wink and a nod to the Lost Levels because that was so difficult that it made people like furious. People were
yeah,
not. I don't know. Like even people in like Japan, like the hardcore gamers that had access to everything from day one, they were like, that wasn't really a fun game that would last. I mean, because Mario, I don't know. I was playing SNES, Classic again, and